Hi everyone, in this tutorial we are going to be creating a very good looking login page, and it's very mobile responsive, and you can see we're having just a simple login page with simple background color, input field, the first one which is the username, and the second one which is a password field and a login button, and that's okay. And we are going to be using just HTML and CSS to do this. Let's get started. All right, the first thing you need to do is to create a folder. You head over to create a new folder. So after creating a new folder, as we are doing currently, you should just create a folder and name it a form, or let me say login form, because we are going to be creating a login form shortly. So now this form, now you just this folder, now you can just open a VS Code. So the VS Code is opening up, and all right, so let me quickly drag and drop the folder I've created in here. All right, so let me open it up, desktop, and I can just open the folder. So now after selecting the folder, this is the new folder we have created. The next thing to do here is I should just create a new file, which I will name my index.html, because we are going to be writing both HTML. So now another thing I need to do here is to create my styles.css file, styles.css file. So after doing that, I can just toggle to close this sidebar, and inside my index.html file, I can bring the normal boilerplate for writing HTML code. So, and I can just change the title. I can change the title here to login page. Now, after doing this, I can copy part. So I can copy part and open it up in my browser. So I can open it up in my browser, and you can see here our title have appeared at this top left-hand corner. So we can head over to our VS Code to continue inputting what we want to add. So now the first thing I'm going to add is to just add a div, and then give it a class of container. So using my MS, I can just say .container and hit on enter. It's going to give me a very good looking div. So now after adding the container, inside the container we are going to be having our form, which is a form tag. For now I don't need this action, so I can just remove this action. And then inside the form tag, what do you think we are going to be having? We are going to be having first the field set, which is going to it's a form of have the like what do you call it, around our container, which is going to be like a border to our form. So the field set tag. So inside this field set, let me just have my h1, we say log in now. So now let me save, and let's see what is already inside our browser. So this is it now, and this is our field set, the one that looks like a div, but with a little bit of border, but it's not a div actually, it is a field set tag. And the heading one which I have here, which is what do you call it, login now, which contains login now. So now the next thing to do is to, instead of me adding this login noun, I can just remove the noun and save. But this h1 now, I'm going to remove it and make it a legend tag. And let me just copy this. It's supposed to do that for the other tag, but I don't know. So now I save it, and let's see what the legend tag do. The legend tag is, we break this. You see now, it's break the field set tag and write the login inside here at the top. left hand corner. So that's been done. Let's have our input fields. Under this legend tag now we can have input. This input now is for username. Let's say placeholder. We say username. And then let's copy it quickly and paste it under here. So this will be the password one. So instead of type to be equals to text, now type should be equals to password, because it's a little bit different, and I'm going to show you a little bit the difference now. So now inside the placeholder, you can just enter password. All right, that's been done. Let's check what's happening inside the browser. And with that, quickly, we are having our username, which when we enter text, because the type is equal to text, when we enter any text inside here, we'll be able to see our text. But if it is password, when we enter something, it is going to be the ... because that's normal format for a password. So you will have to know that the next thing I'm going to do here is to break this, have a breaking tag that will drop this password under, and then have my own button. So now under here, now under the first input, I can just add a breaking tag, and then come under here also to add a breaking tag. So, but under the second input, I'm going to have a button. Then the button which is set login. All right, with that being done, the next thing I'm going to do here is to refresh, and you can see our form is taking a very good look for now, which is just a simple HTML code without any cascading style sheet. So now the next thing to do is to go ahead over to link our styles. So we are going to link our style field to this, and the name of the style is styles.css. Then we save. So we head over to our CSS file and remove the normal default margin and padding of a browser. So I can just say margin to be equals to 0. Set at the padding also to be equals to 0. And then box sizing should be border box. All right, with that being done, we are going to give our body a background color. So I can just give it a background color of hashtag, let me say F2. Let me save and see what is already inside our. Okay. So that is done, and the next thing is for me to style this form, which is the first thing is to style the container that contains the form. This is the container. This is a div with a class of container. So let me just copy this class because I don't want to make any typo. And then under here, I can just put dots to select the class and place my container and add a little bit of styling to it. I can just give it a width of, let me say 30% on desktop or laptop screen, and then give it a height of 90 view height. Or let me give it, I think 90 view height is okay. So let's see what is happening already. And we can see now it's taking a form, it's taking a shape. So I can just remove this height and leave it to be auto. So if I remove it now, it will take automatic width of the of my content. So now after doing that, I can just center it, and the body is what that contains everything. So I can give my body display of flex, and then justify content, which will be equals to center. I can just add it to, let's see what is already happening inside here. And you can see our form is at the center now, and I can give it align items to the center, also align items to the center, and I can save up and see what's already happening inside browser. Align items is not working now, is it? Because we haven't specified the width of our body now, the width of the browser now. So I can just give it a height. Instead, I can give it a height of 100 viewers height. So, and let me save and see if it is working the way I want it. And yes, our form is at the center now as we want it. Okay, the next thing to do here is to style up our container, which I'm going to be giving a background color of white. I'm going to give it a background color of white, and then I save and see what's happening. Okay, it's taking a little bit of shape, so I can just have my input feed to be styled. So I can just select input and give it some little bit of styling. So let me move on some space top, so you are going to be seeing what I'm doing. I can give it a width of 100% width, then height of let me say 35 pixels, and let's see what's happening already. Okay, I think it's looking good now. So I can just give it a what do you call it? A background color of F2, a border of none. Border, I should just remove the border, which is the blue this thing you are let me say the black border that is having, and I can just give it, let me give it more space so you are going to see what we are doing. So I can give it an outline of none also, outline to be none, so everything will look okay. And let me see what we are having already, and it's looking good, so now I can give it a margin of 5 pixels, and save and see what's happening. And you can see our input feed is still looking okay. So the form now is one that contains this. Under the container we have a form, so I can select the form and give it a padding of 10 pixels, padding of 10 pixels, save. So now I can see what we are having already, and this input feed is because we are having a margin. So let's see what will happen. So now this margin now is not, let me give it margin top, because we want it to be at the top, not from the side. That's why you can see it is exceeding these boxes. As you can see now, it's looking very, very good. And the input feed is a little bit not okay with me, so I can just give it more of let me say 45 pixels, and let's see how it look with 45 pixels. Yes, I think this is okay. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to give it a padding, give this input also a padding of 5 pixels, and then a color of white, which is FFF, and let's see what happened. Yes, this is looking okay. So our text here now is, yeah, we're having the text, but it's not showing because I'm giving it a little bit of white color. So it's showing, but not that really. So let me give it another color, so it's going to show, and I will increase the font size. So for it to show, let me give it a green color, and then I will increase the font size. So before doing that, let me just give it more space from the top. So let me increase the font size to be equal to 22 pixels, and let's see what happens if the 22 pixels sit perfectly. And you can see here now we're having, and everything is looking more and more okay now, and you can see my text inside it very, very perfectly. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to add a little bit of padding from the what do you call it, from this field set. So now to do that, I'm going to just copy the field set because I don't want to make any typo, and then paste it under here and give it a padding of 5 pixels. So padding should be 5 pixels. All right, this is looking more and more okay. So the next thing to do is to give my input feed a border radius, which is here. I can just give it a border radius of 100 pixels, and save and see what it looks like. And it's now looking okay. But after giving it a border radius, this padding inside here looks a little bit smaller to me, so I can just add a padding of 10 pixels to it and reduce the font from 22 pixels to like 20 pixels. Okay, now I think with that been done, this should be looking okay. So the next thing to do here is to style our button. Let's go head over to style our button. So the button now is what is next to the style. So I can just select button and open my curly braces and give it a width of let me say 55 or 80 pixels. Let's see width of 80 pixels, and let's save and see what is already happening. Yeah, I can give it a padding of 10 pixels. So now with that, I can just see my button looking okay. I can give it also margin top. So let me add more spaces at the bottom. So you are going to be seeing the code here early. So I can give it a margin top of, let's say, 10 pixels. A border of none. Border to be none. Border none. Background color to be green. Actually, background color to be green. So I can just give it a green background color, and I can change the font size. Font color to be equals to font color. So it's not font color. I can just type the color normally. So color to be equals to white, which is FFF. And let's save and see what we are having already, and it's looking very, very okay. So now the next thing to do here is to give this what do you call it, a width of more. So let me just add it a width of 100 pixels, then give it a border radius of at least 7 pixels. So 7 pixels border radius should be okay with that, and let's see what we are having. So I think it's looking okay. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to add a little bit of font sizing to it. So font size now should be equal to 18 pixels. And let's see what we are having already. And so this is okay. And the next thing to check here is this login form now is done on, we're already done with it on desktop devices. So what will be the look on mobile devices is what we are going to consider now. So let's check it out, and we are going to be having something like this on mobile device, and which is looking very, very ugly to me. I imagine you log into a website and you are seeing this as a login form, and you are going to be getting discouraged. So to now make it look good on mobile devices, let's add our media query codes. Let's say at media now, screen, and open bracket maximum width now, maximum width of 900 pixels. I take it from tab, or let me use 800 pixels. 800 pixels will be okay. And then I open my curly braces. What do we want it to have? So what we want to happen is our container now should take a, I can just copy this whole code of a container, because our container on the desktop application is taking width of 80%. We want it to take a full width here now, so we can just give it a width of 100%. And then we don't need to add the background color. It will take the same background color, nothing changed. Okay, so now let's save it up and see what's happening. Now we can refresh, and you can see it looks okay. So the next thing to do here is to give it a height. For, I should not lie to you, with this height, that's very, very okay. But on my mobile devices, I should be able to see more and more space left out. So let me give it a height of what do you call it? Let's increase more of it and give it more of input. Now let's see the input feed. I can just copy this now, the input, and give it a height of 60 pixels or whatsoever. So the input now should have a height of, your height should change a little bit of, let me say, 55 pixels, and save. Okay, with that being done, I think we are done with this simple login form. It's just a little bit of having HTML and making it responsive. It's not that big. But what I need to change here is my legend, because I can see this legend tag is not looking good both on web and both on mobile. So I can just give it a little bit of styling. So it's not inside the media query. I want to change the legend tag manually. So I can give it a font size of 40 pixels, and let's see whether it is much or it's okay. And that's very, very okay. The next thing we haven't done is we haven't given this a font family, and it's taken just normal default font family. So I can just give it Arial, Helvetica, and sans serif. I think this is okay. So let's refresh and see. So I hope with this you have already know what I said I'm going to show you, because you can see now you create a simple login form where you can input your username, and you can input your password, and then you can hit on the submit icon. Quick one, let me change this cursor to pointer. So button now should have a cursor of pointer instead of normal cursor. So where did I tag my button? I can just give it a cursor to be equals to pointer and save it up. So now I can refresh and hover it, and you can see now it's showing me a little bit of hand instead of normal cursor. If you like this tutorial, or you have learned at least 1 or 2 things in this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.